I think I'm gonna expose this one today. Hi Slayers and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eileen and in today's video we're going to be doing a very old school YouTube style Q&A session with none other than myself. If you are new to my channel, which a couple of you guys seem to be, this video is for you to learn a little bit about me and my channel, and we're just gonna have a fun little time. So I hope you enjoy. If you don't, that's fine. Now, I'm pulling up these questions from a good old internet search, and I have no idea what they're going to be. So bear with me, I guess, but hopefully it should be kind of fun. So the first question is, what time do you go to bed? I aim for midnight, but I have been known to go to bed closer to 1, closer to 2. I'm definitely more of a night owl, so what is my biggest hot take? I think my biggest hot take is that college students should not be using AI all the freaking time. I have had countless group projects in my college life where I'd be like, oh, let me ask a question to the group, and then that person in the group will immediately go, let's ask chat. And I'm like, that is not the point of having a group project. I could ask ChatGPT myself, but the whole point is like human collaboration. And I just see in a lot of my classmates that they do use ChatGPT a little bit too much, and it is sort of becoming a very reliant tool for people. I understand using ChatGPT to edit things you've already written or to check some errors and stuff, but I really don't believe in using ChatGPT as your brain, basically. Okay, the next question is, who is your celebrity crush? So I have two, Margot Robbie and Kit Connor. I think I'm gonna go with that. I did get to go see Kit Connor in Romeo and Juliet, and it was really, really cool, so yeah. What is your middle name? My middle name is Sarah, and actually whenever I order out places, I'll say that my name is Sarah because a lot of times spelling Eileen can be kind of hard because there's like the whole silent E situation. So yeah, sometimes I go by Sarah, I guess. What is your funniest memory from high school? I don't know if this was as funny then, but it's kind of funny looking back. So I used to have this really old car, and the roof leaked really badly, so every time it would rain, I'd have to like ask my teacher in class if I could go cover my car with a tarp, which was so good for my social status, I'm sure. And my friends would come and help me like put my tarp on, and that to me just seems like a funny image in my head. So what is an interesting fact about you? I guess I would say that in my childhood home, I have a pond in the inside of my house, which I know sounds kind of crazy, and it definitely is, but basically it just used to be a hole of dirt, and my dad dug it out and made a pond in there, and so there's little fish. And yeah, I feel like that's a pretty interesting fact that you don't hear a lot. What was your first job? I think I'm gonna expose this one today. So my first job was a waitress, and that shit was awful. I worked such long hours in this sweaty, greasy job. One time, I learned that one of the line cooks would give you $50 if you let him smell your shoe after working, and I just never had a good time there. I didn't like the people, I didn't like the food, but I did like the money, so I feel like it built character. Did you go to college? I am currently going to college, so I'm about to be a junior, which is crazy. Time has flown by. But yes, I'm currently going to college for a media production degree. How tall are you? 6'2"? No, I am 5'4" and a quarter. 3/4. 5'4" and 3/4. I'm almost 5'5". Okay, this is a juicy question for you. How many girlfriends / boyfriends have you had? Okay, I think I've had either 5 or 6. So yeah. What social media platform do you use the most? I think I would say Instagram. I love a good Instagram moment. Instagram was actually the first social media I got when I was in 2nd grade, which I think is a little bit insane. But yes, I think it's Instagram. I like to catch up with my friends, and also then I can just accidentally fall into the hole that is scrolling on Instagram Reels. What is your favorite book? I definitely don't have just one favorite book. I have so many, but I would 100% say Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. That's like the duology. I would also say Actor Age Eve Brown, and I would also say The Goldfinch. All of these books were so interesting, so gripping, so moving, and I also personally love a romance book, so most of these books had a romance plotline in some way, and I love those books. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? YouTubers. Now this is an easy one. I love YouTubers and I love YouTube so much. So I would say some of my favorite YouTubers are Dead and Phil, of course, icons. Sophia Nygaard, 100,000%. She is so amazing, such an inspiration. I know she doesn't post anymore, but Best Dressed, I loved that girl's content. She was so cool to me when I was in middle school. And yeah, there's a bunch of YouTubers that I watch all the time, but I have stand those YouTubers for a very, very long time, so I feel like those are probably my top ones. What kind of equipment do you use to film your videos? So I have a pretty fancy camera, I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot of freelance stuff outside of YouTube that requires me to have a nicer camera. So I have a Canon R6 Mark II, which is pretty pricey. I did get it refurbished, so it was a little bit less than normal. And then the lens I typically film on is a 24-70 f2.8, and it's an older one, but it was still also pretty pricey. But these are the things that I use professionally for freelance work, so it makes sense that I would use it for my YouTube channel as well. I also have a Rode mic that sits on top of my camera, as well as usually I have little lavalier mics that I use from Hollyland, but recently they've been acting up, so I may have to buy new ones or something. But that is typically what I use to film my videos. I also have this cheap ass ring light that is literally falling apart next to my videos to give my face some lighting, which I desperately need. So yeah, that's what I use to film. I used to use a Canon 80D, and that worked perfectly fine, but like I said, I upgraded my camera to do freelance work, and so yeah, I use this really fancy camera. Okay, so the question you're probably wondering about is, what is this channel even all about? What is Eileen's behind the scenes? Well, the channel originally started with me posting sort of like vloggy content, but I felt that didn't do too well, and I wasn't like obsessed with making it or anything, so I kind of veered away from the vloggy content. But I used to vlog a lot when I was in an art school and I was constantly filming all the time, and so Eileen's behind the scenes was kind of the name of like behind the scenes as in like a film set. But now my channel has moved into oddly e-reader reviews, which I think is kind of cool. But also at the same time, there's also this push on my channel for sort of a simpler life, simpler tech, retro tech, and just being off of your phone in general, which I find pretty cool, and those are things in my life that are pretty relevant to me. I love e-readers and I love offline materials and retro tech. But yeah, that's just where this channel is going, but honestly, wherever the channel takes me, I will follow. I just really like making videos, and I just love having a good time talking in front of a camera, interacting with you guys. So really, I'm not too picky about what the content is, but more so just like, hey, I'm posting on this little corner of the internet, and I hope that I'm able to make a safe space and that we're able to have a good time over here. How much money do you make from YouTube? Well, I don't make a lot. So I got monetized in November of 2024, so last year, and I consistently made about $120 to $150 every month from there, which was really cool. But then last month I managed to make $250, and this month I think I will make roughly $400, which is very, very cool. It's still definitely not enough for me to like quit my full-time job, but it is really cool that I am finally monetized. It took me so long to get monetized, so yeah, I'm really grateful, and if you ever want to know, I have no problem with telling you guys. What's the most embarrassing thing you've done under the influence? So I actually don't drink or do drugs. I know I'm 20, so I have to say that, but I actually don't, and so I don't have any embarrassing stories from that, but trust me when I tell you I'm plenty embarrassing when I am sober. So let's recap some of my finest embarrassing moments. I was on a date and I saw people that I thought were my partner's parents, and I go, hey! It wasn't them. I spilled milk all over my crotch, immediately took off my pants. My roommates that were in the room, they were laughing at me so hard, but I spilled like that full bowl of cereal just on my crotch, and it was really cold and quite embarrassing, and they still bring it up to this day. Pretty embarrassing also was I lost my camera. I thought I lost my camera anyways. Turns out I just left it at work, but I was so scared and so embarrassed by that. What was my dream job as a kid? Now, if we're talking really little kid, probably like singer. I was like, I want to be on the stage. But then if we're talking like middle school, we're talking like, oh, I want to be an actress. I want to be on the stage, you know? And if you couldn't tell already, that I have some theater kid in me, unfortunately. Yes, the rumors are true. So yeah, I would either say singer or actress, but either way, something very performative was my dream job as a kid. Do you have any weird quirks? Do I? Oh my goodness. I'm sure I have tons of weird quirks. Some that I can think of right off the top of my head. I always put my left sock on first. I like to sing whatever song is stuck in my head over and over and over again. And I cry probably on average more than a person normally does. What is your favorite piece of clothing? That's an interesting one. I love clothes, but I think it would have to be my long black midi skirt that has a red beaded flower on it that Lydia actually found for me at the thrift store. I just love it. I love a good edgy fit. I love looking a little emo. I feel like it's such a cool skirt, and the fact that it's thrifted and such good quality is just like so beautiful. What kind of music do you like? I kind of like a lot of different things. Of course, my heart is very early 2000s period. So of course I love Fall Out Boy. I love Panic at the Disco, like early Panic at the Disco. And I love My Chemical Romance. I love like really emo 2000s, but I also really like pop girl 2000s. I love Taylor Swift, and I love just the general vibe of early 2000s music. I love Britney Spears so much. And I also really like some oldies. I love the Beatles. Actually, that's kind of it. I love the Beatles. That's mostly my extent of the oldies. And I also like some new music now. I like Aries. I like Doechii. I like Charlie. I love Lorde. I like Olivia Rodrigo so much. And yeah, I just kind of have music taste that's all over the place. Oh, I also, of course, I love Pierce the Veil. I just saw them in concert, which was really cool. So yeah, my music taste's a little all over the place, but I just love a good song. I love a loud song. I love putting it into my headphones and cranking up the volume. If you could have a theme song for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think the answer has to be Come On, Eileen. I got this question earlier, and it was, why do you call us Slayers? And I thought that was funny because I never really addressed this, but essentially it was just something I said one time and it kind of stuck. I really like the word slay, and also it was one of the first things I said on this channel that really I felt like I made a real YouTube video. If you go back and watch some of my older videos, they are very timid and I'm very quiet and I'm just like clearly not very comfortable with talking in front of a camera. But saying hi Slayers was one of the first things that I was like, oh, okay, this is a YouTube channel and I can do this. Okay, Slayers, I think that's all for this video. I hope this was fun and just sort of reminiscent of those earlier 2000s YouTube videos. Those are the ones that I really like. And I've been getting a couple comments on my channel saying that I remind them of that, so thank you for that. And yeah, if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I'll try to answer as many as I can, and I am open to making a part 2 of this video if you want some just chill vibe background videos. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Bye!